Hello everyone, this is Clossi, and welcome to another video. This video is not part of any series, but it is still a cool video. It is a game I played against a Teuton on OGS. For those of you who don't know, OGS is the online Go server. If you haven't checked it out, be sure to do so. It's a pretty cool server and growing really rapidly. Alright, so this game is about a game I played against the Teuton, and the reason I'm sharing this game is because something very cool happened in it. I was able to execute a very cool strategy and gain a very significant lead. However, at the end I did lose, but that was due to my own mistakes, but it doesn't change the fact that I think this game is still pretty cool and shares a very cool tactic that I think you guys can use in your own games. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at the game. In this game, I am white and my opponent is black and he is a Teuton. So the reason I had to come up with this very special strategy is because this guy is actually very strong. And when I looked at his game history later, he has a 3 wins to 1 loss win ratio. So a 3-to-1 win ratio. And you can also see by this move that he's studied AlphaGo, he's studied pro games, and he definitely studies. And as soon as I see this move, I'm thinking, okay, they've seen AlphaGo. Now we'll see how they use it, and I'm also studying AlphaGo, so of course I know it as well. And we're gonna see how it goes. So we play a very normal opening so far, and I start trying to make my own position with this move, and he does push me down here, and he blocks here. But since I'm alive in the corner with this move, I went ahead and Chinooki'd. So I wasn't sure if this result was good for me or bad for me because he did get N3. Normally, I could go here, but I wanted to try and exchange this first, and I thought I could, but he played here, so I'm thinking maybe I might have made a mistake here. I wasn't sure, but yeah, so this one, he did get this block, and this block does look good for block, but I do get Sente, and I did go ahead and take advantage of that Sente and play here. He played here, and I took Sente again, because now I'm not worried about the corner, because I'm already trapped in the corner, right? The corner is only points at this point. So now, after he played this move, I read, am I going to die? And no, I'm not going to die. So if I'm not going to die, then how many points do I lose, and is it bigger than the biggest move? Because I'm already surrounded. Regardless if I live or don't live, I'm already surrounded. So the only thing that I'm going to lose is points. Yes, I can lose a very significant amount of points in this area. However, is it bigger than the biggest move? And I said it wasn't, and that was my reasoning. I said I'm not going to die in that corner, so go ahead and take those points and I will get this move. And even though you get those points for free, I got this move when you had Sente. So I thought this was a good exchange. Or in my mind, I thought it was okay and playable. Alright, so Black did play this and played this exchange, and I played the Hane in order to live, so he made his good exchange, but he said, okay, yeah, you're probably right that corner is pretty small. And now he goes and plays big move. And this one you can see is another move from studying pro games, because rather the normal move to defend the points would be something like this in order to get the points, but this has been considered too slow lately because you want to build up your position as fast as possible and as large as possible. So this move, in order to build the side up, because the side's already got stones on it, so it's not exactly an open side. So rather than closing the side and immediately getting territory, it's more in style now to build up your position very largely like this, and you can see him doing that. So after this, I already have a good idea that this guy knows what he's doing. He's pretty strong. And so I knew I had my work cut out for me and I was going to have a tough game. So I was very excited, actually, because I need to be playing strong players in order to improve. I've played way too many teaching games and way too many game reviews, and now I need to get my butt kicked a little bit in order to improve. So yes, it's important to be nice and play people weaker than you, but you also have to play people stronger than you. You need both. You need both for common courtesy, practice, and study. So I've been a little on the weaker than me end because I've played a lot of Go Club members, I've played a lot of teaching games, a lot of game reviews, and all these kind of things. So I'm really lacking on getting my butt kicked, or the aspect of playing people stronger than you. So I was really excited to play this guy because he seems really strong, and I needed that. So at this point, I know he's pretty strong, and I'm getting pretty excited. So I'm going along here, and I'm going to try and do my best. So I read for a bit and tried to come up with this move. I can't say this move is a good move or a bad move. I just found it and decided to try it in the game because I thought it was a good way to rob his territory. And you can see this is the combination I came up with in order to steal the points. Now, after this, he did get Sente to go here, so that's why I said I'm not sure if it's a good move or a bad move, because it did ignore this group. However, since he already has a stone at G6 right here, I was not worried about the E6 stones. Therefore, the only important stones are the C6 and the d10. Because if he gets this stone, it's not like he's building a moyo or anything, because he already has the moyo. So I can easily give up e6 without losing much, and that's what I decided to do in the game. And you see he played here in order to get a little bit more moyo, and I did play my variation here, and he did cut. This move I considered tanuking, but it was just good to have for myself, and it also put cutting points in his shape, so it's very annoying for black if he doesn't block, and actually he blocked in the game, so I did consider tanuking this move, but it was Sente, or it did give me a lot of Aji in black's position, and it gave me a good defense and made me live. So I went ahead and played it, and black agreed that yes, this is worth responding to because there's a lot of Aji in there. So he did that, and I went and got Sente, and I played my move. So here is another move that is from studying pro games and from pro lessons. This is actually something my teacher's been teaching me, is to 1 point jump to build up your moyo. Instead of just playing a simple move to get territory. Now, don't let me say that territory is bad. Getting the territory is not bad. Playing a normal move like this is not bad, or playing a move like this is not bad. It's just, it's more in style to jump and build up your position lately, and that's what I've been trying to do. And I think this move is pretty good here because it also reduces black's territory or black's area of influence while building mine. So I thought this was pretty good. So up to here, I think it's still a pretty close game. I'm not sure who's winning. I feel pretty confident because I have Comey, and I really like Comey. So I'm feeling pretty confident here. So after this, black goes in. Of course, this is natural because you need to go in. That top right corner is way too large. So black goes in. Now I consider making it a good exchange because now I see that after this move, I can make this exchange in Sente. And this was a very interesting timing. I thought in my head it was good timing. It may not be, or it may be or may not be. Depends if you ask a pro, maybe I'm completely wrong. However, in my opinion, I thought this was really good timing. Because after this move, now if black ignores, for example, and takes the points or the corner or whatever, and I play here, these two stones are going to be in a lot of trouble. And I mean a lot of trouble because now when he runs away, I have this stone to help attack him. So now these two stones are going to be in a lot of danger, and therefore I thought this exchange would be Sente. This exchange is also good to get, because if black blocks like he did in the game, later, now I can block at S2 and Sente. Before, if he wanted to play S2, he could simply play actually here, and it wasn't Sente for me. But if he tries to play here now or something, yes, he can do this at any time, but it isn't as powerful. Like maybe he can ignore this or something, and it's not as big. So the reason I thought this was good is because later, now I have this move to defend instead of just playing this move to defend. So I thought it was a good exchange to have. So I went ahead and played it, and I thought this was good timing because it feels extra Sente now. However, black could have ignored, and I would have got to cut, because if he ignores and goes to play a big move, then I would have definitely cut immediately and started a big fight here, and I thought the fight was to my advantage. That's why I played it. I'm still not sure if I'm right or if I'm wrong, but that was my reasoning, and that was the reason for the timing. However, black did respond in the game, so it looks like he agreed with me on the timing. Alright, so now I'll go back to play the big move. And that is, of course, here. I just wanted to get this good exchange in. And I played here. And then black played here, and here black is also saying, I want a good exchange before going back to that top right corner. And he's saying that I'm going to do this and get my local exchange first while going to the top right. He's basically trying to do the exact same thing I did. Before getting to the big move, he's making a Sente exchange in order to gain points. And now, here is where I think I played a very, very powerful move, and that is a Tanuki. This corner can die. However, I was convinced that the top right is much, much bigger than the bottom right by several points. I counted it, and I counted as accurately as I could, because you have to count these things. It's a big, big sacrifice in order to sacrifice this bottom right corner, but I sacrificed it and was able to build such a large position, guys, and I felt so good about this because after this, white is clearly ahead if you count the board. Now, during the game, we did say that this move would have been a little bit better in hindsight. As you'll see later, this is a little bit more important to deal with this moyo, and it also develops while dealing this moyo, dealing with black's thickness, sorry. Dealing with black's thickness, this reduces black thickness as well as building up white's position. So building up his position is still good. It's just reducing the thickness is also good. So we agreed that this move would have been a little bit better. However, at this point, both of us felt that white was leading, and even black after the game, he actually complimented my my sacrifice here. And I'm not trying to brag or anything, but you know you feel good about your move if your opponent compliments your moves after the game. So and it just makes you feel really good. And I'm really happy about this. I'm not sure if it's the right thing. Of course, a pro might tell me I'm completely wrong. But in this game, I was able to think about sacrificing, and I ended up doing it and gaining a very significant lead. Because after this, black or white is clearly ahead, and ahead by several points to the point where it's very difficult for black to catch up, and black's going to have a very difficult rest of the game. It's not game over, but white is definitely ahead. So if I wanted to live, I could live very easily. All I have to do is simply play here, and black plays here, and then I Hane, and come back. So here, I can live. So even if black Hanes, I simply go here, and it's me to live. If black goes inside, I simply play... what is it that I play? What is it that I play? Come on, life and death. I know I can do this. I know I can do this. There we go. Here, and then here. And if black Hanes, I simply block here. So yes, I can live. It's small and it's ugly, but this group can live in one way or the other. So the point was I could live, and black was just trying to get that variation in Sente. However, I was able to sacrifice that entire position and gain a very large lead. And I thought this was a very cool concept, and I definitely wanted to share it with you guys to show that, yes, things can be big, and yes, things can die, but sometimes sacrificing a group for two big moves, because I got two in this case, because I got this one and this one, sacrificing a group for two big moves can sometimes be worth it. So be very careful about killing things, because when I asked my teacher, I asked her, I was like, when you attack, it's about gaining profit and not killing, right? And she's like, yes, yes, of course, it's always about gaining profit when you attack. Actually, most pros don't want to kill groups. And I thought that was a very interesting quote, because most professionals apparently don't like killing things. But that's actually in contrast to what you would think pros think when they're playing the games. If you study Korean games especially, they always look like they want to kill things, but actually the pros are only attacking, and that means they're trying to gain profit in Sente. That's what the pros are doing. They're trying very, very hard to gain profit, as much profit as they can in Sente. Uh, and maybe not even in Sente sometimes, but just gaining a lot of profit, like big profit, and very significant profit, and getting a significant lead or control of a position. However, trying to kill things, then they have to invest in actually killing. Killing things is very hard, and I'll tell my students this all the time. Don't try to kill when you attack. Attack for profit. The only time you can kill is when you're 100% that the group is going to die, and that means you read every variation. You have to be 100% that the group's going to die if you're going in for the kill. And here, black did go in for the kill. And yes, the group is going to 100% die. I also agreed with this. However, here it wasn't just about the fact that he could kill me. It was the fact, was it worth it? And was it worth it? I don't think so. I think black actually made a mistake by letting me get these two moves. That means that even though he got this big corner, white still got a lead. So killing things is very dangerous, guys. Killing things might not always be good. Now, this is not always the case. Do not say that Clossi said this, or he said killing things is bad, so I'm never going to kill anything. No, 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 no. I'm not saying that. I'm saying be careful about it. I'm saying think about it. Is it worth killing this right now, or is the big move bigger? Or is threatening to kill it bigger and forcing it to live small and getting Sente bigger than just killing it directly and letting your opponent sacrificing? On the flip side, can you sacrifice the group? So remember, many times I tried to Tanuki this game. So for example, here I tried to Tanuki, and earlier on, back in the corner, I Tanuki it in order to get Sente. Yes, I may have made a bad exchange, but I got Sente twice, so I kind of caught up. So even if you make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. Sometimes you can ignore things, and especially in the single digit Q level, most of my students, one of the big things I teach them is how to ignore your opponent's moves, and that's a big thing you can do. If there's no significant damage, then why don't you try to ignore? And that's what I did in the bottom right, because it wasn't going to die. And you have to have very good judgment for this, guys. Make sure you understand the basics, like really, really fine-tune your basics in order to understand when and when not you can Tanuki. So here, I can sacrifice e6 because there's no Moyo, because he already has a Moyo, so there's no reason to worry about him getting more of Moyo. Here, I did consider Tanuking, but I decided against it because responding is big. So I'm still considering Tanuki, but I responded against it. So it's not always can you Tanuki, but it's good to consider it as much as you can. And that's why Tanukiing is a very powerful weapon if you can master it, and also sacrificing. Sacrifice and Tanuki. I think these are two very, very big facts that you can learn from this game. Very big skills. And if you want to learn even more, you can learn how we built the Moyos and stuff like that. But I think The sacrifice in the bottom right corner and the tanukis, I think, are two very big strategies and very big skills and weapons that you can use in your games if you can master them. So try to make sure you make a note of that and think about it in the future. Now, granted, I did lose this game not because of this, but actually, when we go into the future here, or the future of the game, when we go later into the game, you can see that after I lived here, Black had a position on the bottom, and that was the next big move. So I went in on the bottom and went one line too deep. He was able to actually surround me, and I had a lot of trouble here because he was able to cut off this group, and then I had two weak groups, and one of them died. So rather, we talked about it after, and he suggested if I just go one line higher, White is still significantly ahead. And I say significant, it's good like 5, maybe 7 points after Comey. So it's still pretty close in that it's not game over, but for 7 points at this level, it's very difficult to come back, especially when both of us know our end games. And I'm confident that both he and I knew our end games pretty well. So all I had to do was reduce here, and I had a good lead. That's basically what I want to say. And this would have been easier. However, I went one line too deep, guys, and I got into all sorts of trouble. And here's another lesson: line of the moyo, and watch your cuts when you're reducing. Make sure you don't get cut off when you're reducing, and be wary of your own weaknesses. Even when you're ahead by quite a bit, you can still lose if you make a big mistake in the middle game, or maybe in the end game, or you miss an Atari or something like that. You can still lose, so you have to be careful even in the second half of the game. So even though I lost, I still felt pretty good about this game because, yes, I did go one line too deep, and yes, I died, but the bottom right corner sacrifice I thought was very cool, and I wanted to show you guys and share that with you guys. Hopefully you guys liked that, and I want you guys to also take this as a lesson. Do not get cocky. Do not think I'm ahead, he should resign, blah, blah, blah. And I'll actually tell you guys what my teacher told me. She gave me a rule. I am not allowed to resign before move 150 unless I have a big dead group, or I am more than 20 points behind. As long as those two cases are not fulfilled, or one of those two cases are not fulfilled, I am not allowed to resign. Even if I'm losing, even if I feel like it's like no way to come back, I have to keep playing. The reason for that is none of us can play perfectly. We're all amateurs. And before move 150, there are still unsettled things on the board that you should settle first to make sure your opponent knows what they're doing, or that they respond correctly. And you never know, your opponent might make a mistake like this where they go one line too deep instead of just doing this, and then you have a chance to come back. And of course, your opponent will have to watch out for those chances, or you will have to watch out for those chances, but uh, basically don't resign before move 150 unless a big group dies. And by the end of this game, it was move 149, I think, actually at the end. But as you can see, my big group did die, and he had gotten sent and destroyed some points. So I did resign here because a group did die, but I still felt pretty good about this game. And I want you guys to also think about that too, that even though I lost, I still was happy with my performance, and I want you guys to get that feeling as well, that when you play, you are not playing just for the sake of victory, you're playing to try and do your best. And even if a pro comes by and says this game is terrible because you did all these mistakes, don't worry about it. Just learn from it. Of course, if a pro says you did something wrong, take it to heart and learn from it, and then try to improve. But still, be happy when you're able to pull off cool strategies. Be happy when you're able to play a good game. Even if you lose because your giant group died, if you can still be happy at the end of it because you played a good performance, or you had a really cool game, or a really fun game, I think at the end of the day, that's much more important. Go is about having fun. You are playing a game to enjoy it, not to suffer, not to criticize yourself over and over about how bad you are. You are doing good. You're doing whatever level you're at. You are stronger than somebody else, I'm sure. Unless you're brand new to the game, you're the brand new player, then you are going to be stronger than someone else, and you are going to be stronger than you were before at some point. Because unless you are a brand new player, then you've learned something about this game, and you know something about what you're doing. And probably if you're watching this video and understood it, then you're at least of some certain level that you know more or less what's happening. So at that point, you should be happy that you can actually play this game with some skill level and some actual skill. You have some skill at this game. Regardless of your level, you have some skill at this game, and it's about just slowly improving that skill and performing better and better and better. but be happy with your performance, be happy with your games, and enjoy the challenge and the thrill of it. Enjoy the games that you can pull something cool off, and don't worry about the games where you die or if you lose or something like that. Just try and learn from it. Try and improve your game overall and try and do better next time. And that's the fun of it. The fun is about losing and learning something from it and then improving and then pulling something cool off next time that you learned from your losses. And even when you pull something cool, if you lose, don't worry about it. That means you still pulled something cool off. In this game, I'm very happy, even though I lost. I'm very happy because I was able to pull off such a cool sacrifice play, and I'm even making a video out of a game that I lost to show and share with you guys. So always look for ways to make Go fun, because Go is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be enjoyable. You're supposed to enjoy improving. You're supposed to enjoy the challenge and the thrill of it. Don't make Go work for yourself, because it just becomes so stressful, and that will actually hinder your ability to improve. So make sure you're enjoying Go. But alright, hopefully you guys found this game helpful. Hopefully you found the Tanuki and Sacrifice ideas helpful. I really enjoyed this game. I hope you guys enjoyed this game as much as I did. As always, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video.